Wagwan family. Today I'm going to be getting into personal style and how I sort of began on this journey of finding my own personal style and how I've gotten to where I am now. Now, I'd say I've always been into fashion, even as a young kid. Like, I'm not sure what it was. There was just something about well-made clothes, nice feeling clothes, and nice looking clothes. I didn't come from a very wealthy background, so when I got nice clothes, it was a very special feeling to me, and it always has been. I can remember maybe I was 13. In Australia, we went through this phase of wearing Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, Nautica t-shirts, just plain white t-shirts, but if they had the little Polo logo, or the little Tommy Hilfiger logo, or the Nautica logo, you were the fucking guy. You were a king. That was in like year 7 when I was 13. My mum took me to David Jones. David Jones is this department store in Australia. And she bought me my first ever Ralph Lauren t-shirt. And it was just a white t-shirt with a pocket on the side with a Ralph Lauren logo on it, and it was way too big for me because they didn't have any kid sizes, and I was a really small kid growing up. So she bought me an extra small, and I was absolutely swimming in it. Yeah, I wore that thing every opportunity that I got. Of course, since I started on this path of Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, those t-shirts, I started asking my mom for my birthday, for Christmas, for, you know, when she wanted to get me a nice special gift, I would ask her just for one of these t-shirts. A Tommy Hilfiger one, I must have had 3 Tommy Hilfiger t-shirts with just the tiny Tommy Hilfiger logo in navy, grey, white. I didn't really like Nautica that much. I'm not sure why. I guess you could say it was like sportwear into luxury sportwear is how I would describe that sort of style. But yeah, as I got a bit older, I started becoming increasingly more interested in like what we would call now in hindsight a Hybeast culture. So I became really, really obsessed with Tyler, the Creator, and Odd Future, and I would see them wearing Supreme all the time. Vans as well were a huge thing for me. And around this time, I really wanted to start skating, but I never did because my parents told me that I would injure myself. But yeah, I could never afford Supreme. That was never something that was even fathomable. For me, Supreme box logos, ultimate grail around the age of 14, 15. But I just knew that I would never be able to get one. So it was sort of something I looked up at and was like, oh, one day. A lot of my interest in fashion has been on the same path as my interest in music. So around the age of like 14, 15 is when I started to listen to more hip-hop and rap music. I always did as a kid, but now around this age, my parents were very strict with what I was allowed to listen to. So now that I'm listening to whatever I want, essentially, I've become more interested in the brands that my favorite rappers are wearing and so on and so forth. I became introduced to the likes of Travis Scott. I was always a Kanye fan. Even as a kid, I was a big Kanye West fan, but now I was allowed to listen to all of his songs, all of the explicit ones I was allowed to listen to. And this is around the Yeezus, coming out of Yeezus and Watch the Throne era. This is going into the life of Pablo, which was a huge cultural influence on my own personal style, if I can say so myself. So yeah, Travis Scott, Kanye West, Tyler was still a big influence for me, and A$AP Rocky, the whole of A$AP Mob really. This is a big turning point for me. The year 2016 is when The Life of Pablo came out. Yeah, The Life of Pablo, I remember lining up for hours with my 2 older sisters for The Life of Pablo pop-up. And these times, I did not have any money. I was not allowed to work during school. I didn't have any disposable money at all. All the money I got was from my parents to buy food for lunch or stuff like that. So when it came to actually buying myself stuff, that didn't really exist. I would have to ask someone to buy me stuff. But I lined up for hours. The Life of Pablo pop-up. And at this time, I hadn't even listened to the album, but my sisters were obsessed with it. And my sister Tani, she bought me 2 t-shirts. I love her so much. She bought me a long sleeve t-shirt that had the Melbourne triangle on the side, and then on the back it had a graphic. I'm not sure what the graphic said. It might have been like, "We on an ultralight beam," something like that. And then she bought me a white one which had the triangle as well. And man, when I tell you, I felt like I had the biggest chip on my shoulder. It was insane, because these times, like, that stuff was quite exclusive in Melbourne. You could, like, unless you lined up for that pop-up, you didn't have it. And like, kids my age didn't have they weren't up to date enough, or they didn't have the money to go and line up and buy stuff from that pop-up. So the fact that I had those 2 t-shirts, I felt like a king. My obsession with Kanye and The Life of Pablo sort of influenced my whole years of 2016, 2017, for the most part. Around this age was also when I started to learn more about designer clothes. So leading up to this point, I didn't really know much about high fashion. I knew about the major brands like Gucci or Prada or Louis Vuitton, but I did not know anything about the brands and their brand image, etc. I was really influenced by my brother-in-law, who was very much into this stuff. He was wearing a lot of Acne Studios, and he was wearing a lot of Gucci around this time. Gucci trainers specifically, not really Gucci clothes, but I would look to him, somebody who was earning money and could buy his own clothes, and I was like, one day I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna be able to dress the way I want. Actually, I have a photo here from when I was doing design at school, and I downloaded a Gucci logo, and I printed it into a heat press sticker, and I brought a black t-shirt into school, and I pressed the logo onto the t-shirt, and I told everyone it was real. But I don't even think I've seen a t-shirt that looks like this before. Fake as fuck. I don't even know who I was trying to fool. The first designer piece I ever got was from my mum and my sister Tani. Again, Tani has been a very big influence on me, and she's been a very big enabler as well. They bought me for my year 11 formal a black Gucci tie with the snake graphic on it. Anyways, yeah, this was sort of like the turning point for me mentally, physically, and on the outside. It hadn't really got there yet, but mentally, big turning point for me. Around this age, I was like 17. Tom, my brother-in-law, he started to let me borrow some of his clothes. I say borrow, a lot of the time I used to steal, because he used to live with me. You know, you can see me wearing Gucci Flames. They went to Japan and they brought me back the ASAP Rocky ice cream guest tee. That was a huge cop for me. Yeah, just like I wore this Yeezus tee all the time. This bomber jacket I got from Alpha Industries. As we moved more into, when I was 18, I was reverting a bit more back into the shirts and trousers and stuff like that. But again, naturally, it's just because of the kids that I was surrounded by. I feel like that's a big obstacle for a lot of people on their own personal style journey. It's like fitting in is the biggest obstacle, and once you break that down and you go, you know what, I don't really want to fit in anymore, I just want to dress for myself, that is when you start to really find your own personal style. And here we go. As I said, once I left school, that transition into fashion was accelerated by like 1,000 times. I got a job fresh out of school, so I had enough money to buy myself the occasional piece. The first big purchase I made was the Acne Studios t-shirt with the Acne Studios logo around the neck. I wore that religiously, and that was a really comfortable t-shirt as well. I love that thing, man. Like, if I still had that t-shirt, I would wear it occasionally. But now, boom, the first big designer purchase I ever made were these Dior rubber boots. And I bought them with absolutely no idea how to style them. I just knew that I loved them. I feel like it's unfortunate that I bought them when I did because I didn't really know how to style them. I would just wear them with my regular wardrobe and they just looked so styled down. Like, they're such sick boots. They're so cool. And the clothes I was wearing with them, just like, I couldn't really wrap my head around how to make them like look good. I don't know why, like looking at these photos, but yeah, I guess the main takeaway I have from these couple years, I'd say 2019, 2020, is I was doing a lot of experimenting. You know what? I think everyone needs to go through that. If you don't go through that experimental period, you will never be brave enough to step outside your comfort zone. That's how I feel, at least. 2020 was an interesting year because obviously we were in lockdown in Australia and I looked more into my black culture and became increasingly influenced by that. So it's why I love where my style has taken me today. It's because it's somewhat influenced by things that aren't conventional. I got a lot of inspiration from different parts of not just my own Jamaican culture, but from African American culture. So like, I found an old tam that I bought on my first time I went to Jamaica when I was 8 years old, and I took the brim out of it, and I just started wearing it. Like, every day I started wearing it because I was growing my dreadlocks as well, and every day I started wearing it. Like, it really became like a part of my personality, the tam. And I still wear it today. The Rastas wear them as a political statement. And for me, I do wear them with the political symbolism, but at the same time, I wear them because I really like them. And I really like the way my hair looks when I'm wearing them, or how I can put my hair in them and hide my hair. Like, I love the tams. I think I'll wear them for as long as I have dreadlocks. Around this time, I also had to pay homage to the young 14, 15-year-old who was obsessed with Odd Future and Supreme. And I bought myself not only a Box logo t-shirt, but a Box logo hoodie. No one was wearing Supreme Box logos at the time. I did not care. I was so happy to have them because I was so excited to have them. Like, it was justice for my teenage self. Like, my younger teenage self. Anyways, then we got thrusted into the world of camouflage. I think this is around the time that I started to look to Pinterest for a bit more inspiration. And so this is, I guess, started wearing the cargo pants, the army cargos. This outfit right here, the Gucci North Face t-shirt and the Realtree trousers. Crazy outfit. And I know people, if I wore this outfit today, there is a big community that would really love it. And now I guess we're here. Like, the last couple of years have been just more of the same. Sort of being more comfortable in the clothes that I really like and not being afraid to put on what I want to put on. So, top 3 takeaways. The quicker you dismiss what you think other people are going to say about you, because 9 times out of 10, no one really cares what you're wearing. It's just your insecurity saying they're going to judge me for what I'm wearing. And if they do, who cares? It's such a good feeling stepping out in an outfit that you love and that you look good in. And that should triumph anything else. If somebody on the street goes, "What the fuck are you wearing?" you shouldn't even care, because you know to yourself that you love this outfit, you love the way you look. Number 2 would be, at the same time, don't be afraid to be influenced by other people. You don't have to be the only one wearing this shit. You don't have to be embarrassed that you got inspiration from somebody else's outfit and you put your own spin on it. There's no rules. Like, you can do whatever you want. And if that means you saw one of these people that you look up to, if you saw their outfit and you like it and you want to replicate it, do that. Like, that's allowed. That's completely allowed. Number 3 would be just embrace the journey, enjoy the ride, stay fly. That's it, baby. If you like this video, please follow or subscribe, depending on which platform you're on right now. And yeah, if you want more content like this, just drop a comment. Good luck on your style journey. You're gonna be fly as fuck. All right, peace.